Welcome to the grandest stage of college football, where legends are born and champions are made. From the iconic Big Ten to the expanded 18-team powerhouse, we're taking you on a journey to the biggest, the boldest, and the most beloved stadiums in the nation. From the shores of Lake Michigan to the banks of the Ohio River, we'll explore the historic venues, the electrifying atmospheres, and the proud traditions that make each stadium a fortress of fandom. Get ready to experience the mighty 18, where the roar of the crowd, the thrill of the game, and the spirit of college football come alive like never before. Let's kick off this epic tour now. Number 18, a practice field. Northwestern will have perhaps the most unique venue during the 2024 and 2025 seasons, while Ryan Field is going to be rebuilt over the next 2 years. The new Ryan Field will have an estimated cost of $800 million. The temporary stadium is on the shores of Lake Michigan, which is pretty cool in my opinion. This setup will have a capacity of approximately 15,000 fans, which is obviously going to be the smallest venue in the Big Ten. The design will have the coaches' booths and the press box will be situated on the west sideline, opposite from Lake Michigan, while bleachers line both sidelines and stand behind both end zones. Again, with this venue being a practice field, there's no way I can rank this higher than last on this list. Number 17, Memorial Stadium. This stadium is located in Bloomington, Indiana. The venue has been the home of the Indiana Hoosiers football team since 1960. They broke ground on building the stadium in August of 1958, and then the facility officially opened its doors in October of 1960. That original construction cost for building the stadium was $4.5 million back then. Now that's equivalent to $47 million in today's money. The facility has been renovated and expanded on several occasions, most recently in 2016. The official capacity of the venue is 52,626, and the record attendance was in 1969 with 56,000 plus fans. Memorial Stadium is small and doesn't intimidate the opposing team in any way. Michael Penix Jr. did play here, and so there's that. Number 16, CQ Stadium. This venue is located on the campus of the University of Maryland in College Park, Maryland. The stadium is the home of the Maryland Terrapins football team since 1950. Construction got started on the stadium in January of 1949, and then the venue officially opened its doors to the public in September of 1950. While building the stadium, that construction cost was $1 million back then, and now that is equal to $12.7 million in today's money. In the venue's history, it has been expanded a total of 3 times, most recently in 2008. The record attendance for the stadium was in 1975 against Penn State, with an attendance of almost 59,000. The official capacity of the venue is 51,802 people, which has been the same number since 2012. The most unique feature of the stadium is the end zones, which is designed after the Maryland state flag, and that's pretty cool. Number 15, Ross-Ade Stadium. The stadium is located on the campus of Purdue University in West Lafayette, Indiana. This venue has been the home of the Purdue Boilermakers football team since 1924. The construction got started in June of 1924, and then the venue opened its doors in November of the same year. While building this stadium back then, that construction cost was $237,500. Now in today's money, that is equal to $4.2 million. At the moment, the stadium has been renovated and expanded on several occasions, with the most recent one coming in 2023. The largest crowd ever to attend a game in the stadium was 71,000 plus fans, and that was in November of 1980 against Indiana. The capacity of the stadium is 61,441 spectators, and that makes it the 11th biggest venue in the Big Ten. This venue isn't one of my favorite places to watch a football game, sorry. The U-shaped design of the seats and lower profile don't do much to create a raucous atmosphere. But other than Drew Brees played there for a time. Number 14, Shai Stadium. This venue is located on the campus of Rutgers University in Piscataway, New Jersey. The stadium is the home of the Rutgers Scarlet Knights football team since 1994. They broke ground on the stadium in March of 1993, and then the facility opened its doors in September of 1994. While building the stadium back then, that construction cost was $28 million. Now in today's money, that is equal to $57.6 million. Before 2009, the capacity of the venue was 41,000 plus, but now the stadium has a current capacity of 52,454 spectators, after a 2009 expansion in the South End Zone student section. The record attendance at the stadium was on November 19th of 2002 against Penn State, with an attendance of 55,000 plus fans. When Rutgers has a good season going on, this place is rocking and you don't want to be the visiting team. Number 13, Memorial Stadium. This venue is located on the campus of the University of Illinois in Champaign, Illinois. The stadium is the home of the Illinois Fighting Illini football team since 1923. The construction on the venue got started in September of 1922, and then the facility opened in November of 1923. That original construction cost for building the stadium was $1.7 million back then. Now that's equivalent to $30.4 million in today's money. Currently, at the moment, the stadium has been through multiple renovations and expansions, with the most recent one coming in 2013. The largest ever attendance at the venue was in 1984 against Missouri, with 78,000 plus fans. The current capacity of the stadium is 60,670 spectators, and that has been the same since 2011. The tailgating scene outside of the stadium is better than you think, but the only problem is that the team can't put together successful seasons consistently, which makes it difficult to generate an incredible game day environment. Number 12, Spartan Stadium. The stadium is located in East Lansing, Michigan. This venue has been the home of the Michigan State Spartans football team since 1923. They broke ground on the stadium in 1923, and then it opened its doors in October of the same year. When this stadium was built back then, that construction cost was $160,001. Now in today's money, that is equal to $2.8 million. At the moment, the last renovation and expansion came in 2014, and the stadium has gone through several in its history. The record attendance at the stadium was 80,000 plus fans. In 1990 against Notre Dame, the official capacity of the venue is 75,005, and that's been the same since 2005. When the Spartans are good or beating the Wolverines, this place can be as loud as any place around college football. Number 11, Huntington Bank Stadium. This stadium is located on the campus of the University of Minnesota in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The facility has been the home of the Minnesota Golden Gophers football team since 2009. Construction on the venue got started in September of 2006, and then it officially opened its doors in September of 2009. While building the stadium from 2006 to 2009, that construction cost was $303 million plus. As of now, that cost is now valued at $431 million in today's money. During the 2014 to 2015 seasons, the NFL used this stadium as the home of the Minnesota Vikings until the construction of U.S. Bank Stadium was complete. The record attendance for the stadium was 54,000 plus fans against TCU in September of 2015. The capacity of the facility is 50,805 people, which makes it the second smallest Big Ten stadium. It's also the newest stadium in the Big Ten, and the venue can be charming and comfortable until it's extremely cold. And the way the stadium is constructed, the wind chill could be a serious problem at times. Number 10, the Rose Bowl. This stadium is located in Pasadena, California, and the venue is 10 miles northeast of downtown Los Angeles. The stadium is the home of the UCLA Bruins football team since 1982. The construction on the stadium got started in 1922, then it officially opened its doors in October of the same year. The construction cost for building the stadium was $272,198. Now that's valued at $4.9 million in today's money. The Rose Bowl Stadium is one of the most famous venues in sporting history, specifically as the host of the annual Rose Bowl game for which it is named. The first ever Rose Bowl game played at the stadium was on January 1st of 1923. The largest attendance ever at the venue was in the 1973 Rose Bowl game, with 106,000 plus spectators, which was a bowl game record also. The official capacity of the stadium is 96,400. The Rose Bowl is a historic stadium in a beautiful setting, but when it's the regular season and the Bruins aren't that good, It's not the same as when it's the host of the Rose Bowl. Number 9. Los Angeles Coliseum. This stadium is located in Los Angeles, California. The venue has been the home of the USC Trojans football team since 1923. The construction on the stadium got started in December of 1921, and then it officially opened its doors in May of 1923. While building the venue back then, the construction cost was $954,872. Now in today's money, that is equal to $17.1 million. With the stadium's rich history, the facility has been through a total of 8 renovations, with its most recent one coming from 2017 to 2019. That renovation was the first major upgrade of the stadium in over 20 years, and that cost $315 million. By doing that renovation, that also reduced the capacity of the stadium from 93,000 plus fans to a current of 77,500 spectators. Not many stadiums can say they've held multiple Summer Olympics, but Los Angeles Coliseum can. Along with the Olympics, the Coliseum has been the home to national championships and Heisman winners. It's even been the home of the Dodgers for a season, and when the Trojans are good, this is a great place to be. Number 8. Memorial Stadium. This venue is located on the campus of the University of Nebraska in Lincoln, Nebraska. This stadium has been the home of the Nebraska Cornhuskers football team since 1923. They broke ground on the stadium in April of 1923, and then it officially opened its doors in October of the same year. When this stadium was built back then, that construction cost was $430,000. Now in today's money, that is equal to $7.7 million. In the course of the history of the stadium, the venue has been through many renovations and expansions, with the most recent one coming in 2013. The attendance record for football was in September of 2014 with 91,000 plus fans. But the true record for this venue was a women's volleyball match in August of 2023 with 92,000 fans. The official capacity of the stadium is 90,000 spectators, which makes this stadium the 5th biggest in the Big Ten. The Cornhuskers fan base is probably one of the nicest overall in college football, and the fans want to make a visitor feel at home. And even though they want your team to lose, they want you to enjoy your visit and enjoy the game. Number 7. Camp Randall Stadium. This stadium is located on the campus of the University of Wisconsin in Madison, Wisconsin. The venue has been the home of the Wisconsin Badgers football team since 1917. Construction on the stadium got started in 1917, and then it opened its doors in November of the same year. While building the stadium back then, that construction cost was $15,000. Now that is valued at $356,727 in today's money. In the stadium's long history since 1917, the venue has been through many renovations and expansions, with the most recent one coming in 2022. The record attendance at the stadium was in 2005 against Iowa, with 83,000 plus fans. The venue has a capacity of 75,822 spectators, and that makes it the 7th biggest stadium in the Big Ten. This stadium is one of the oldest stadiums around. Camp Randall isn't a fun place to play for visiting teams. Number 6. Kinnick Stadium. The stadium is located in Iowa City, Iowa. This venue is the home of the Iowa Hawkeyes football team since 1929. Construction on the stadium got started in March of 1929, and it officially opened its doors in October of the same year. When building this venue back then, the construction cost was $497,151. Now in today's money, that is valued at $8.8 million. In the history of the facility, the stadium has gone through many renovations and expansions, with the last one coming in 2019. The stadium has an official capacity of 69,250 people since 2018, and that makes it the 10th largest stadium by capacity in the Big Ten. The stadium can be tough to play in for the Hawkeyes' opponents, especially when Iowa is good. What makes this stadium special is the wave. It's when the fans turn to the University of Iowa's Stead Family Children's Hospital and wave to the patients at the end of the first quarter. Some things are bigger than football, and this is one. Number 5. Ohio Stadium. This stadium is located on the campus of Ohio State University in Columbus, Ohio. The venue is the home of the Ohio State Buckeyes football team since 1922. They broke ground on the stadium in August of 1921, and then it opened its doors in October of 1922. While building the stadium back then, the construction cost was $1.3 million. Now that is valued at $24.4 million in today's money. In the stadium's history, it has gone through many expansions and renovations, with the most recent one coming in 2014. The largest attendance ever at the stadium was in November of 2016 against Michigan, with an attendance of 110,000 fans. The official capacity of the stadium is 102,780 people, and that makes it the third largest stadium in the Big Ten. This is one of the hardest places to play as a visiting team. The sea of red and the countless national championship banners hanging around the stadium all contribute to the overall experience. Number 4, Autzen Stadium. The stadium is located in Eugene, Oregon. This venue has been the home of the Oregon Ducks football team since 1967. Construction on the stadium started in 1966, and then it officially opened its doors in September of 1967. When building the stadium, the construction cost was $2.3 million back then. The venue also went through a renovation and expansion project in 2002, which had a cost of $80 million. The largest attendance ever at the stadium was in October of 2011 against Arizona State, with an attendance of 60,000 plus fans. The official capacity of the stadium is 54,000. However, the actual attendance regularly exceeds that figure. This venue is the 13th largest stadium in capacity in the Big Ten. Even though it's one of the smallest venues, it's still one of the loudest in the country, and you're totally surrounded by Ducks fans. Number 3, Michigan Stadium. This stadium is located in Ann Arbor, Michigan. The venue is the home of the Michigan Wolverines football team since 1927. Construction on the stadium got started in September of 1926, and then the venue officially opened its doors in October of 1927. That original construction cost for building the stadium was $950,000 back then, and now that's equivalent to $13.4 million in today's money. At the moment, the stadium has been renovated and expanded on several occasions, with the most recent one coming in 2010. The record attendance at the venue was 115,000 plus fans, and that was in September of 2013 against Notre Dame. Michigan Stadium has an official capacity of 107,601 spectators, which makes it the largest stadium in the United States and the Western Hemisphere, and the third largest venue in the world. This stadium is one of the most recognizable stadiums in America, and it's no surprise with all of the traditions, the history, and the size, Michigan Stadium is near the top of the list. Number 2, Husky Stadium. This stadium is located on campus of the University of Washington in Seattle, Washington. The venue has been the home of the Washington Huskies football team since 1920. Construction on the stadium got started in May of 1920, and then the venue officially opened its doors in November of the same year. That original construction cost for building the stadium was $600,000 back then, and now that's equivalent to $9.1 million in today's money. Husky Stadium went through a major renovation from 2011 to 2013, and the stadium reopened in August of the same year. The cost of that renovation project was $280 million. The official capacity of Husky Stadium is 70,083 people, which makes it the 9th largest venue in the Big Ten. Even though Husky Stadium isn't one of the biggest venues in the country, but few buildings are as loud. The stadium's design keeps the sound from escaping, and the view of the bay and the sailgate scene are unmatched anywhere else in the country. Don't forget, this venue sits next to Union Bay in Lake Washington. The venue is considered by most to be the most scenic stadium in all of college football. On a clear day, fans are treated to a great view of the Olympic Mountains just past Lake Washington. As you pan around the stadium, an amazing view of Mount Rainier can be seen as the tallest mountain in Washington watches over the city. Number 1, Beaver Stadium. This venue is located on the campus of the Pennsylvania State University in University Park, Pennsylvania. The stadium is the home of the Penn State Nittany Lions football team since 1960. They broke ground on the stadium in 1959, and then it opened its doors in September of 1960. The construction cost for building the stadium was $1.6 million back then. Now that is equal to $16.5 million in today's money. At the moment, the last renovation and expansion came in 2014, and the stadium has gone through several in its history. The record attendance at the venue was 110,000 plus fans in 2018 against Ohio State. This venue has an official capacity of 106,572 spectators, which makes it the second largest stadium in the Western Hemisphere and the fourth largest in the world. Beaver Stadium is widely known as one of the toughest venues for opposing teams to play in. The size, the history, and the whiteouts during night games make this place one of the best stadiums in the country.
So those are the stadiums of the Big Ten Conference. Which stadium is your favorite? Let me know down in the comments section. If you're new, please consider subscribing and also hit that notification bell. And if you love sports, this is definitely the place for you. And also share this video with more sports fans. For more videos, please click up here. And thank you so much for watching. My name is Nathan. I'll see you guys all next time. Just keep loving sports.